Told you we had a better late game. Hello everyone, it's the Grey Goose, and today on our White Monday we drew up the color of Azorius. Not too long ago I had an Azorius Control deck, but this one had a slight change. I just wanted to see if Azorius Control could still be good in this meta. Like, people are trying to do a little bit of climbing, I think, before Theros releases on Friday, guys. A couple other quick things. I just wanted to mention that Oko got banned in Modern today, which I feel is incredible. It's really funny that they allowed him to be banned in Standard but stay legal and historic when they still had him banned in Pioneer. That makes no sense. And he's so strong that he even went further back and got banned in Modern. So broco. If you haven't seen my review of the cards of Theros yet, personally I did not see any card near the threat level of Oko in the full list. So hopefully we don't have any of those shenanigans again, because it skewed Standard for so long between having Field of the Dead with no Field of Ruins, which now we have back, by the way. Awesome. Thank you for land destruction, Wizards. And now also no Oko. I saw nothing crazy like a Veil of Summer either, which on one hand I'm kind of sad because Izzet Flash might still exist, because there's some pretty good green and blue cards out there. Let's just go with that. And not to mention, the early access event is going to be available for content creators on Wednesday, including myself. So I'm going to start streaming on Mixer that day when it goes live, and I may end up doing all 22 hours that it's up. We'll see, guys. But I want to get in there, start seeing all the different cards, getting a good grasp of what feels good at the beginning. So hopefully I can start to take some clips and at least put it in a video up for you maybe by Thursday, and get that out to you guys so you see what's looking legit for day one, Friday, Theros release. And last thing I want to mention, guys, if you haven't seen it, you may or may not be interested, but I know I am as a card game player. Next week, Legends of Runeterra is open beta. They skipped the last closed beta that they thought they were going to have to do. So I think it's next Friday. Everyone can play Legends of Runeterra. And long story short, it's similar-ish to Magic, but it's not pay to win in a way, because I think everyone starts essentially with the same amount of cards, and then you build them up through playing. I don't think you can buy directly packs. You can just buy cosmetics. So I think it's a lot more free-to-play friendly. If that's your thing, definitely start looking into that. I'm going to include some links in the description, and I know I'm going to start to try and cover that too. I don't know if I'll be able to put one video out a day of both, but we'll see how it goes, because I'm interested. I've never played it, but I've heard very good things about it. Alright, so now let's get on to the deck tech, and then we'll get straight to the gameplay. Okay, so for this Azorius Control deck, I wanted to do just slightly different. I thought we were going to be seeing a lot more Jund Sacrifice here in the last week leading up to Theros Beyond Death, and the answer is no. I'm seeing a lot more Rakdos Knights and things like Izzet Flash. Basically, I don't know, maybe people are getting sick of cats and they just don't want to anymore. And I feel like with the Rakdos Knights, at least, it's just a deck that win or loses really quickly, at least compared to the sacrifice decks, which take forever because a cat turn alone takes about a minute. So compared to my last deck, the only main change is I went from one less Planar Cleansing to one more Time Wipe. So not a huge change, but once again, since we're not seeing all those sacrifice decks, I don't think it's as important to have the 3 of Planar Cleansing and instead have a quicker board wipe. Not to mention, this synergizes better with our deck, and this kind of hurts us sometimes, obviously, with having still something on the board like a Teferi or Gadwick. But if you haven't seen my last Azorius Control deck, let me quickly go through it here. It looks like we have 27 lands. So on the high side of normal, you want to be hitting them quite consistently though, so you're hitting these big things, Time Wipe, Planar Cleansing. Also, you'll see we have quite a bit of instants, and so let's get into it. We have 4 opt, just so amazing to be able to draw a card and scry, not to mention at instant speed, and just for the cost of a blue, it's really easy to lead off with this in any given game, or just if you have 1 extra mana laying around, it's awesome to be able to draw a card and scry. Aether Gust, there's a lot of red and green out there. Instant speed, you get to either boop something back that's already on the board, or effectively counter it by saying, well, you get to tuck it or you get to scramble it to the bottom of your library. Comes in pretty clutch against things like Embercleave and whatnot. Essence Capture, just a one of. we're not always going to have a creature on the board, so the +1/+1 counter thing is just a nice bonus. But for a 2 CMC, being able to counter a target creature spell, it's pretty nice. Speaking of 2 CMC counter, Dovin Video, awesome. Any deck that you see that plays quite a few non-creatures, this is just amazing, can't be countered. Finale of Revelation, this is a win more, or if you're late in the game and you're all out of cards, you happen to top deck this, you have a ton of lands, it can single-handedly win you the game. It's amazing to be able to get the clause of 10 or more off. So it doesn't happen very often. I've done it a few times within the last month or so, but when you do, it's just ridiculous. You get all your cards back into your library, you have no maximum hand size, and you've obviously drawn at least 10 cards. It's busted. Brazen Borrower, 4 of, great synergy in this deck. It's an instant speed bounce, it's a flash flying 3/1, and he can block flyers. Think something like Rankle or trading 1 for 1 against another Brazen Borrower, but basically this is one of your main ways of pushing through damage to win. 4 of Teferi Time Raveler, an absolute must in this kind of deck. He's your tempo, he shuts down other instant speed decks, and also being able to +1 and have instant speed sorceries like your Time Wipe and Planar Cleansing obviously just come through very, very clutch as well. 4 of Absorb, this is your best counter in the deck, and it's harder to cost with the 3 CMC including the 2 blue, but countering anything and gaining 3 life is exactly what we want to see in this deck, because opponents over time are going to be whittling our health total down, and this is the way that we're going to survive until our massive board clears. Gadwick, so he is the MVP of the deck. He's good on turn 3, he's good on turn 4, he's good on turn 10. He's just amazing. A 3/3 body for 3 alone isn't terrible. Any blue spell though, while he's down, getting to tap out certain things at instant speed is amazing. And also the ability to draw 1 for 1 after 3 mana is insane. I call him the G-Man. He is a 5 out of 5 Grey Goose approved card. 2 of Chemist's Insight. If I were to potentially get rid of any more cards in this deck or switch something out, it would probably be these. We have a pretty good amount of card draw here with Finale of Revelation, Teferi Time Raveler, and obviously the G-Man. These sometimes just feel a little bit too slow, a little bit too clunky. So if I were to play this further, I would maybe recommend finding something different or increasing the amount of these other cards for more consistency. But regardless, it's still really good, obviously. It has the potential to draw you 4 cards in and of itself, which is amazing. So it's not bad. Time Wipe ×3, this is great. Bounce one of your creatures back. They all have value. Obviously, he gets another free bounce. He gets another draw a whole bunch of cards. So it's really awesome. And 5 CMC, pretty good. 6 CMC, this is what kills Jund Sacrifice players, makes them cry. They put all their witches' ovens down, their trail of crumbs. They have all their geese, all their foods, and you just say nope, and then they cry. So lands here, I told you I have 27, 2 Castle Ardenvale, 3 Castle Vantress. I feel like these are pretty highly valuable, at least one of Ardenvale and at least one, if not more, of Vantress. I've had games go so late before where you can win on just the Ardenvale alone. You're able to control the game out long enough and you slowly just win with 1/1s on the board. It's ridiculous, but it has happened. And the Vantress is good as you get all these lands, your 27 lands in deck. Sometimes you have nothing to counter, sometimes they have nothing on the board, so you have leftover mana, you just scry to. It's also worth noting if it gets late game and you need that one card, remember you can scry at your end step and then you can have you can click to pause on your untap upkeep and then you can scry again at the beginning of your turn if you really have to hit that one card you need. Shocklands definitely needed here to be able to play these on curve. 4 of the life tapped lands. So these are okay. I'm more excited to see the Temple of, I forget if they're Deceit or something. But anyways, the Azorius color Temple of coming in Theros Beyond Death is going to only help Azorius Control further. While 1 life gain is not a bad thing, the scry is more important for a control. You would rather find your answer card, which control needs answers, than the 1 life generally. So, yeah. And 2 of Fabled Passage. just to hit that white that we need usually for planar cleansing, or that blue that we might need for the G-Man. Let's go to our sideboard. 2 of Giant Killer. This is pretty awesome, especially given the clause with the bounce back from the Time Wipe or the bounce back from the Teferi. Being able to cast that chop down in certain decks multiple times is massive. Think of like a green beater deck, mono green Stompy, or even Gruul, or the occasional Regisaur. You just have him ready to roll, chop down that Spawn of Mayhem, whatever. Not to mention you get him on the board and you can infinitely tap a creature out with your massive amount of lands. Sky Tether's pretty cool. For the cost of a white, you shut down a card. The only downside to this card that I see is that it keeps passives available on cards. Like you throw this down on, say, a Corvold. Yeah, he's not going to attack or he's not going to attack and be a threat that way anymore, but he still has his every time you sacrifice a card, he gets +1/+1 and draws. So you have to be aware of the passives. 2 of Devout Decree, 2 CMC to exile anything black or red is amazing, obviously, in any given deck that you're going against those colors. And to be able to scry, that's awesome. And if you get to +1 with Teferi, it's an instant speed shutdown too, which generally catches people off guard. 2 of Tithe Taker. If you're going up against a instant speed heavy deck or flash heavy deck, you want to put these in. Just they're good enough, just barely, I think. The 1 health is what really lets me down about him. But the 1 Afterlife is worth noting too. So, you know, if you're going against those type of decks, they might play Brazen Borrowers, and that Afterlife of a 1/1 flyer, you know, that can block and kill a Brazen Borrower. So they might have to use 2 removal spells on this 1 card. That's worth. 1 more of Dovin's Veto. If you're going against a counter heavy deck, because we have so little threats overall, you have to have these cards and 4 of Mystical Dispute to be able to get our threats on the board and potentially win. Think mostly against like Simic Flash, the Dovin's Veto, the Mystical Disputes, absolutely have to. 2 of Mew Landling, Sky Dancer. Once again, if you're going against a slow, greedy, grindy deck, you may want to put this in. Over time, this can give you kind of infinite value. Not to mention, if you do go up against aggro, you may consider doing this. It has 2 health on the board, but if you get to +2 even once on a target creature, it now has 4 health, and you're taking 2 less damage overall, either to Mew Langling herself or your face. And last but not least, 1 more of Planar Cleansing. Once again, especially against Jund sacrifice decks, you want to slide this last one in just so you can laugh and just wipe all of their work that they've amassed, and then you win with a single fairy or whatever. All right, let's give it a whirl with our Azorius Control. I'm going to make this work. We have a nice turn 1, turn 2, blah, blah, blah. Well, turn 1, I guess we don't have anything, do we? Sure wish we had some temples in Azorius colors. Let's go ahead and do this. A weird play. Hey, look, it's Rakdos Knights. Here I thought we were going to be seeing some Jund sacrifice today, but instead we get this fun. Alright, so islands. Make sure that comes down so we can opt. Cool, island, of course it is. Anyways, alright, so here we go. We have our Time Wipe, which is cool. And we were on the play, which kind of weakens him. I do like it. Going to get a fair amount of damage coming through, though. That's a knight plus. Okay, bounce is pretty good here. Bounce is pretty good here. We go ahead and we do this. We're just slowing him down damage wise. We don't want him really to gain cards, obviously. That did pretty well. With the Hallowed Fountain down, now these come in untapped, which is also quite nice. And this gives us our the most options. Okay, so we could counter a non-creature spell, but are we thinking that's going to happen? Probably no. Probably going to be all creatures. I don't know why he was looking at my lands here. Interesting. I think I want to hold back for if he has a drill bit. That's damage, alright. Okay. My turn. Cool. So we get a... That's too slow for this. We really want to sideboard that out. Put him down. Cool. Okay. So now we have access to our time wipe, which is very nice. We get our 3 damage in, yay. And douche. Cool. So I think he has a Black Lance Paragon. You ready? Black Lance! Woo! So we're down to 10 here. We need another board wipe, but having 2 bouncers is pretty awesome too. Plus we have a lifeland, yay. Oh, just an Embercleave, right guys? Just an Embercleave. So, we're basically dead at this point. Huh, do I want to do it to him? That helps take care of that Embercleave, doesn't it? So now what's he have? We have 2 bounces, we have some card draw. Assuming we survive ever, we get a Dovin's Veto. I think he knows he's kind of tapped out at this point though. If I put this down, he definitely could Black Lance, couldn't he?
Sorry I'm late. Don't worry, I got it.
That's interesting. How do I want to do this though? I think the answer is just this. Go ahead and Black Lance me, bro. Black Lance me. No? Okay. Going up against the big dog. That makes me the small dog? What do they call it? Underdog? Yeah, underdog. Going against the underdog. You got some sort of stomp or something? He Murderous Rider the Gadwick. Okay. So he's playing really scared. Really scared. Oh yeah.
I've got time.
So we have quite a few options here. You know, Castle Ardenvale to just put out a chump blocker seems like a pretty good play. I think we'll play the Lifeland. This is fine. We're gonna make him discard a card. His last card, what is it? What's he been holding on to? This is just so dirty, honestly. Look at that Embercleave he was hoping to save. Oh yes, try going for face, dude. Okay. Obviously no blockers. There we go. So we don't have our absorb, which is kind of annoying, so we'll keep coming down. So we're on a pretty small timer here. But he's gonna put both down, and you know, both definitely add up to being some sort of threat. I could have just Castle Ardenvale there, kind of knowing that he wasn't gonna have anything. Do I scry? I think I scry. That's more powerful than opting for 1. Oh boy. Once again gonna be mad at me, but with Castle Locthwain, right? With Castle Locthwain, right? So he's just gonna smash first before playing any cards. He should at least. He should smash first. Just go for the smash. He's wondering, do I attack the Teferi? I could just boot back Reggie. Don't want to just boot back Reggie? I guess I just go ahead and do this. Whatever. I have a Dovin's Veto. I guess there's something to be said for that. But if he were to like have a stomp. Nope, just a land. Why did he do that? He could have Castle Locthwain and put something down. So obviously I can't scry with the Vantress here. I think I want to get a Brazen down though. Let's start threatening him a little bit with a good time, you know? That uses our mana more effectively also. Speaking of, mana for days here. Alright. I want to see what we have first. Oh, that is... Finally, we're getting some counters. You would think Azorius Control would have a bit more counter action going on here. So we can get rid of 1 non-creature and 1 creature. So he has 1 card to play. Stomp? Please be Stomp. No. So Locthwain again. That still leaves him with a good amount of lands up. Is he really not? Oh, he's brave, man. Brave. I think it's more worth to scry still than to pump out a 1-1. I have a 3-1 flyer. Oh, yep, we win. 2 top. He should just concede after seeing that, honestly. And if he locks Thwain's, it's good game. So winning game 1 against Rakdos Knights feels pretty good because I think we have quite a bit better matchup the second time around. After sideboarding, I mean. So what do you got here, fam? Okay. So, yeah. Even if he locked Thwain there, that would deal 1 damage to him, and then my Fairy Flyer. So Planar Cleansings, Devout Decree, Sky Tethers, Giant Killers, these are all good. The Dovin's Veto are actually too clunky. He has too many creature spells. The Chemster Insight and the Finale of Revelation. Basically anything that just says raw is too slow for Rakdos Knights. Okay, so now he is on the play, which is a little bit more scary for us. Let's see how the opening hands and the mulligans look, though, to see kind of how fair it looks. We're on the draw. Not amazing here, guys, but this is pretty awesome, kind of awesome, and leading into more awesomeness. So let's hope we just, on the draw into some lands. We have a pretty high chance, 47%. This is a high land deck. I forget how many. Is it 27? It's something pretty scary. So he mulled down to 6. I'm feeling a little bit better. And he didn't play anything there? Wow. I'm playing this so I can ASAP opt, because that's going to be our helpful card to get some lands here that we so desperately need. So what's he have? Stomp? Stormfist. Okay. Okay. We don't have any instant speed way of... Alright. We're going to do this, though. I don't want to. It gives him card draw, which I really hate, but we have no option right now. I don't want to start taking damage. He's still going to get the draw from that, which is kind of boo for us. Let's really, really hope for a 3rd land naturally so we can Fable Passage. Sweet. Yeah, him giving us card draw, I guess, isn't that bad as Azorius Control. Alright, there's our boy. Speaking of... Do I want to just Giant Killer him? I could just Giant Killer him. I could Brazen Borrower and opt him as well. I think this is the better play, honestly, though.
Stand by. Don't worry. I got you.
Alright, so does he have a Fervent Champion and or Stomp or land plus Fervent Champion? Really? That's interesting. With our Giant Killer, we can easily handle this Spawn of Mayhem. Yeah, we can.
Here goes nothing.
All we need is one of these bounces and an opt. Also works just as well. This is red or green. So how do we want to do this, guys? I think we're starting to get to the point where we're good on lands. I do want to go ahead and hit our planes here, guaranteeing our 2 planes for the time wipe next turn. Let's see how he reacts. Until we get to, maybe 1 island there would have been better. I just need 1 more planes to feel really happy, because that's what allows us to get our planar cleansing off. Okay, perfect. So what's he gonna do? If he tries to attack Teferi, it's either Giant Killer or Brazen. I think it's just Giant Killer to get rid of him. He's being annoying. I could Brazen and get him out of my hand and have him available as a flyer for a time wipe to be bounced back. Our Teferi slowly working his way up here. Drill bit would be very annoying. Technically, you could have multiple bits. Alright, so we know what this is going to be, right? Yeah, so let's just go ahead and kill him. Actually, you know, has he got Embercleave, guys? I don't know. If he has Embercleave, otherwise I could have just chump block with the Brazen and let him play some cards. Alright, so he's back. He's back. I want him to play some cards, though. This works, right? He decided to put it on the bottom. Teferi's like, so you're telling me there's a chance? Alright. No more card draw for you, dude. No more card draw. We have Teferi at 3, so that's kind of value, but he could have Stomp, he could have Fervent Champion, Rankle. We have plenty of cards to discard, though, if it's Rankle. I wish I could have the mana to Brazen Borrower chump block it. Alright, there you go. So he's playing much more control-y. This gives me good hope because you can't dirtle this hard, dude. Like when you're going against Azorius Control. Not to mention he's doing good on lands. Normally on Rakdos you want to just put a bunch of creatures out. So we have a giant killer, pretty cool. We have that as Flash. I want to start getting value with this Devout Decree. Where's your Black Lands Paragon, right? There's one. I'm not going to auto-resolve the turn anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and boop him. Bye. Alright. So now we get to flash in a fairy and start doing damage ourselves. We're actually going to be ahead of him. Kind of depends though, like if he has a stomp, but he did tuck that one underneath, so maybe he does have a stomp. Maybe he has another Murderous Rider, I don't know. What are you going to play, dude? Alright. So that's probably Devout Decree. I was going to use that next turn. The Giant Killer has a lot more applications though, so that's a hard call for him. Okay, pass my turn. Cool. So we're dealing damage here. Yes, we are. That's nice, except you don't want to... Alright, we need the Scry, so why not? Right, why not? So we start smashing. And this turn we can start scrying if need be. This is actually pretty decent. And he's all in, right? He's all in. Pass my turn. Yeah. So put him down. Here we go. He's got some targeted removal. He's scared. Speaking of. Alright. So we're getting some damage in. The problem is, though, he has life linkers and he has a 4/4 flyer. And apparently, we're only good at drawing lands as well. So this is a scary turn. We need to scry into some awesomeness, I'm going to call it. You know, one of the things that could be awesome for us is simply to find a bounce. So I'm actually feeling pretty good. I'm going to stop on our upkeep as well. It's just, I got to see what we get here first. And I think we win here, guys. Yeah, we do. Play this. We don't even need to do that. And we win. Draw. Alright. See ya.
I'm known for my excellent timing.
He played too much control. You can't out-control Azorius Control. Okay, guys, we got one more match coming up, but I just want to invite you, if you're new to the channel, feel free to leave any comments you would like. Hit the like button, subscribe. We'd love to have you back for more. I try and make a video every day of a random deck. Catch you guys tomorrow. Okay, so match number 2, Azorius Control. We're on the draw. I kind of like our decent smattering of things here. We got a non-creature counter, op turn 1. Leading into hopefully a land. We got a bounce here, bounce, tempo. Maybe... Is this just... Is it Flash? Could be. Alright. Whatever. With all of our counters coming through, like, him trying to get his Gadwick down is not going to work out well for him. If he's a really countery heavy deck, though, there's something to consider. There's a land. I'm just going to go ahead and take it to guarantee we have that. Do I shock this in for the Dovin's Veto, guys? I think I do. I don't want to. But basically, this allows us to counter whatever we want. Opt is fine, obviously. Double opted. He opted to double opt. He opted to double opt. That's hard to say. Alright, so what do you got now? Third land, obviously, into a... my turn. So he has some sort of counter just chilling. You know he does. Why not? Right? Why not? This is where the counters start flowing, just flowing, guys. I'll wait for him to make the move. We have the better late game. Ow, it hurts. Okay. So he got me down to 16. That's pretty spooky, guys. I'm joking. Alright, so Absorb is all ready to roll. Let's get him down. This is going to get countered or shocked or whatever, but it's fine. I just got to start getting something going here. I could always just Teferi bounce him back next turn too. I'm pretty sure he has a shock or a stomp though. So let's see what he has. Yep. Alright. We can just start getting some damage in. He's going to take it. So let's see here. This lets us counter two things if we do it right. I think I'm just going to go for a plains. Yep. Okay. Sure, we'll end turn. That's brutal, guys. That's brutal. So he blew his whole turn. He didn't get his card draw. He's a sad panda. But he still probably has a pretty good chance here of having a shock or stomp. If it comes back to us, we're in a really good position. Oh, really good position. Because we have this Absorb. We're one off from having both Teferi and Absorb, so that's pretty nuts. So let's go ahead and Vantress. But the Absorb's pretty cool. We get to chip in damage. He could flash in a Fairy too, honestly. But if he does that, it's Essence Capture. And then we have Absorb ready to roll. No. So he still, I'm thinking, has targeted removal here. Okay. Alright. So that's kind of annoying, but I mean, that's Izzet Flash for you guys, so. Is this gonna go through? He used a counter there, so he might be out. He might just have the targeted removal, the shock, the stomp. Maybe he's wondering if he should use his last counter, because he sees we have 3 up. Sure. So he burned through his quench. That hit the board.
My responsibility.
Alright.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
So, he doesn't have the Murderous Rite or anything like that, obviously. How's he going to get rid of Teferi? He's going to have to use a lot of resources. Temple, scrying. Seems a little bit desperate. With all of his flash and instants, though, I can't let this Teferi dirtle much longer. Without having any good spells here. The Essence Capture's cool, and we just barely missed it, didn't we? We just barely missed it. Yeah, we did. You know what he's going to try and do? He's going to try and get greedy. Cool. He's probably thinking, what is he doing? The problem becomes if he gets smart and he, like, just Gadwicks for 1. No. More counters? Can't do it because it's fair anyways. That shuts his deck down pretty hard. Gadwig, no. Alright. Cool. So, we do not have... This is actually pretty scary for this Teferi. I'm not feeling his lifespan very much. Oh, I'm not feeling it. Yeah, I'm not feeling our chances much here either. He's just getting too good with drawing and chaining into Gadwicks while we're just getting Dirtle spells. So I think we're in trouble. Our late game is better, but if he does this to us where we can't answer his win condition, that's how you lose, obviously. Cool, planes, nice, really nice.
That's more like it.
This is so annoying.
Right on schedule. Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Alright, so you're gonna Gadwick and basically deck yourself. Let's go, bro. Down to 12. Stomp. Or is it? Puts it on top. Alright. So we're tapped out. What you got? Gadwick for 3, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's Gadwick for 3, please.
Let's try this.
Alright. Let's go for it. So he's going to attack into Teferi. Can't be countered, can it? Oh. The only problem that he did maybe not think of here. Alright, so he's attacking. Okay. So, he can't play any instants. He does draw 1 card, which is annoying. But we got rid of his Niv-Mizzet and he drew 1 card. Cool, good for you, bro. The scary thing is he's already flooded out. Like, he's full grip, so doesn't matter really that he drew another card. Alright, so he's down to 3. What do you got? Bone Crush Giant, cool. My turn. Yeah. Ready for some counters. He has his full grip here, so he's got something, either a stomp. Yeah, alright, so he's got the stomp still left over. If I was him, I would have just used that. But he's all tapped out, so now it's our turn. 3, 6. Alright, 5, 6. So he has this pretty scary turn here with all these lands and that full grip, basically. Yeah. Alright. So now we're chaining into Gadwick. It's just gone back and forth. He has the Niv-Mizzet in here. I wonder if that's his one of, or if he has like 2, if he's a really greedy deck. Because if he does, I mean, he could technically have a shot here. But I see the Bone Crush Giant. That's just the stomp for 2 damage. So what else does he have? I'm going to have to look here. Alright, pause on his turn. Pause. I'm just going to let him go. Alright, what do you got? Very nice. Thank you for giving my Gadwick back. Is it my turn yet? Alright, let's look, guys. Let's look. 1 Gadwick, 2 Gadwick. This is number 3 Gadwick. Excellent. Alright, my turn. So many options. If I... Okay, so Teferi, he might get countered. You ready, guys? He might get countered. If he doesn't, though, once again, really good position for us. Yes. Nope. I was hoping to get a lucky clutch counter there, but no. But alas. So let's go ahead and wipe him. Yeah. So he can't play his little fairy at that turn. I mean, all things considered, we're kind of close, but we need to draw our counters. Like, we have not done very well with our counters. We have 4 absorbs in our deck, guys. Could you believe that? We're down to 26 cards, and we've seen 1. Alright, nice. Obviously, we don't want to bounce him back with our fairies, so that kind of stinks. He still has quite a few lands, including a Vantress. Now we're basically at the point where he can just burn us down pretty easily. I don't like that. Alright, so he can flash in the fairy here, and we're in trouble. What do I want to draw? Just 3? 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. How would that look? That would leave us with 5 open. Let's try and get a counter, guys. Yeah, that would be cool. Or a board wipe. Oh, that is kind of disgusting. Kind of disgusting. Alright, enter. Okay, so he's going to want to play the fairy, right, guys? This lets me get rid of a Brazen Borrower that could be coming in down the hatch. And we tapped out the Bone Crush, but he untaps anyways. So does he have a Quench? Quench wouldn't matter. Dovin's Veto? Couldn't use that, right? Doesn't have a Plains. Alright. So this opt, huh? 0 top, that's good. What a long match this is going to be, guys. He's opting to opt even more. Oh man, look at this guy. 0 top again. What are you trying to get, bro? We're up to 10. Discarded card. We have tons of land. We have tons of land. If we get our Finale of Eternity off, well, I mean, I don't think it can be countered. Yeah, it can. But still, like, that's ultimate. That's an ultimate spell. Alright, here we go. Here we go. I think he's out of counters. He's got to be getting close, right, guys? Alright, so he's going all damage, all damage. Time wipe ready, I'm ready. Hurry up, get your 4 damage in. Make yourself feel happy. The cool thing is, even if we get countered here, we have a second time wipe that we can cast. What's the play though? 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That would be 1 off from Time to Fairy plus double. But this is nice. Yeah, we have 2 fairies that we're going to have to deal with here. If I get him down, this is much better, I think. So if he has his 1 counter... no. Yeah, we're 1 off from being amazing, aren't we? No, we're not. This is fine, I think.
Sorry I'm late. I'll protect you.
So he's about to concede. You ready, guys? Told you we had a better late game. The only reason he kind of ramped out there in the middle is because he chained into Gadwick so hard. Do I just do this? I guess I do. We're up to 9. He's down to his last card. He can't counter it because of Teferi. And yeah, he got a Niv-Mizzet or something? Why didn't he concede? Castle Ardenville, that's a win con. Let's do that, right? Yep. Let's go ahead and get some cool cards. Down to 19 though. Kind of spooky. Speaking of decking ourselves. Oh, but Sorcery of Eternity or whatever it's called. Where is it? I don't see it. Okay, well, whatever. Fairies, we're gonna beat him up with Gadwick. Dovin's Veto for sure. Mystical Dispute all the way. Yay, yay. Planar Cleansing? It seems a bit greedy. Tithe Taker. Let's see if these are worth the plays. So we have to get rid of 8. I mean, these actually all honestly aren't too bad. Finale of Revelation. That's what I was thinking of. Because even though we were getting close to decking ourselves, you play that for 12. Full library again, basically, guys. So we have really good cards that we sideboarded in, but what's better to get out? I think we're going to go long enough in this match that the Chemist's Insight aren't exactly needed. Like, we have the Gadwicks. We have the Finale of Revelation. It's about controlling the instant speed shenanigans, honestly. I think, honestly, 2 less Brazen, because a lot of his things you don't want to bounce back, right? You don't. In fact, I might get rid of all, but no, that's not the right answer. Alright, this is very controversial to take out all the ops, but actually, I don't know if this Aether Gust is worth it. I don't know. Tithe Taker, I think he's good. I think he's good. But maybe not, because all it takes is a single stomp or shock or whatever. I guess we're left over with a 1/1 flyer, which is good against his Brazen Borrowers, and can fly over a Bone Crush Giant to get his... I was going to say Teferi, but he doesn't have Teferi. Alright, so even though we got rid of those ops, look at that. Save our day, right here. Opening hand. Alright, this looks pretty decent. I like. We're going to start with the island, obviously. Okay, leading off with the Fabled Passage. Let's go. Alpha A50. A520. What do we got? What do we got? You got a quench? I don't care. Planar cleansings are good and all, but I don't think we really... Oh, that is so good. So good. And, yeah. I think this is going to be the play, guys. So, what value card are you going to try and get down? He might get a Bone Crush Giant down. Let's get rid of that. That gets starting to get spooky fast. We don't want that to happen. That's his primary damage if unanswered ASAP. And when you try and answer it, then he just counters hard and stuff. So you want to get rid of that. That's his MVP of the early to mid. So here we are looking at Absorb, which is pretty awesome. Alright. Fabled Passage. This is his guaranteed turn 3, maybe turn 4 play. What's he have at 4? Rouse Outbursts? That seems pretty weak though. So this gets rid of an entire card, and it lets us heal up too. Because Izzet Flash, they want to chip you down with damage. They don't have... They might sometimes run one Embercleave. And honestly, knowing that he's against Azorius Control, he might have put in more Niv Mizzet if he has it, which is spooky. Which is very spooky. So we are all out. What's he gonna do to us? What's he gonna do to us? He's probably holding on to some good counters too. We got lucky getting rid of those. Wow. So he's got one. I think that's a mystical dispute, isn't it? Most likely. Or maybe it just is a land he coincidentally had. Alright, so got rid of his good counter. Fair enough. We're only one more turn off from Planar Cleansing, but if he has more counters, we're in trouble. Unless we start getting more fun things to... If I put this down, right, I can Castle Vantress. Yep. Alright. We have to do that. We have Dovin's Veto, which is pretty nice. If he doesn't play anything, though, it's just going to be a Scry. Alright. So he's getting some good damage in. Unfortunate. This is how Izzet Flash wins, though. They just try and get the one creature down and slowly chip you over time. Alright. So he has an opening right here to try and do things to us. A double board wipe here is pretty cool. Alright, so 3 for 5. We play this first. We don't have enough mana to do anything else. Like, we could have shocked that in, but it's the same. He might have a counter here, but then the question is, does he have another one for next turn? He's looking. A time wipe for a single Bone Crusher Giant is not what you want to do, but you do what you got to do. He's going to soon start being able to draw into some heavy value with playing a decent Gadwick, playing Niv Mizzet next turn, which is all spooky stuff. He could also just hold up his whole turn basically and then play a Brazen Borrower, or I was going to say or two, but no, not quite. What we need is a Teferi, honestly. With this Dovin's Veto, that's super clutch. So he went all in with that. He's going haste, obviously, right? Yeah. But why you would have that in an Izzet Flash deck, I do not know. So 3-6. Yeah, once again, we're basically all out of options other than one card. I could bounce him back, but I think it's better just to get rid of him. Not have him, give him the chance to come back again. We do have an Aether Gust to bounce something back again to buy us another turn, but honestly it's kind of looking a little bit dire here. We're down to 12. Like, I don't know how I feel about all this. We haven't seen any Teferi yet, and he's really important in this matchup. Skargan Hellkite, though. Oh man, look at this. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Right? That's all in. Alright, that's all in. So we matched. Too bad that wasn't a... Well, I guess it wouldn't have mattered. Alright, so we gained a life. We're kind of on par as far as board control and lands, except he's the one on the play right now, so he's controlling it. Alright, that's interesting. Alright. We get to untap him and smash, right? Smash! Let's smash. Cool. Down to 15. So here we go with Teferi and Dovin's Veto. You ready? So it doesn't matter. I'm sure he has a counter. No? Cool.
I can no longer stand by and watch.
So I think the play, we don't have a counter for a creature, which is where we're kind of stuck. And with the tapping ability of the Gadwick, I don't know, how do we want to do this, guys? This is a hard choice, because if he just chooses to straight up attack, he can smash through Teferi no matter what here. So let's see what we draw. Say for example we get a time wipe here.
That's more like it.
No? Okay. So we drew a untapped land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will put us at 6. Right? I could put him down for 1. Okay. He can't counter now. He could do something like Fairy, Flash, which is annoying. But we need to just draw at this point hard for another board wipe. Scrying, that's spooky. So let's see how he chooses to... Maybe he'll just swing both towards Teferi without doing anything else. With us having the Dovin's Veto, that's kind of nice. So this gets countered no matter what. Yep. And we get to tap him out. If he has a blue spell, he taps my dude. Alright, so he's just gonna fly over. We need a board clear. Why would he do that? That's a mistake, right? That's a mistake, right? What? I'm so confused, guys, aren't you? So, Aether Gust is pretty cool here. Mystical Dispute.
Here we go.
All these things are actually kind of cool. Doesn't matter. So on his upkeep, we're going to Aether Gust and have Mystical Dispute ready. Alright, seems fine. Do we attack? I think that's too greedy. That is too greedy, isn't it? I want to draw. So we got his draw for the turn. I'm gonna Aether Gust him, tap out the dude. I guess I could have attacked, couldn't I? He has all this land that Mystical Dispute isn't going to do much for us. He's going to put Skargan on top. With the haste, he's pretty clutch. What is it Flash runs this, though? That's what I'm wondering. So, scrying here is going to be pretty epic. He could have instant speed spells to basically nuke us down. We need a board clear with instant speed sorcery from Teferi, though. Oh, yes, we do. So he's playing something to kill that, I guess, maybe. The Mystical Dispute I am not going to cast unless I know I'm going to get value. So look at that, we're 1 off. 1 off. Yeah, I might as well, I think, guys. I don't want to do this, but that burns through his whole mana. Or he has to use a counter, which I don't know why he would do that. Alright. What? He just allowed that to get fizzled? Why? What? Alright, so I'm holding for my upkeep. Oh, good golly, Miss Molly, you ready? Well, guys, we got it. And we got a refill with the other Gadwick here. Tranquil Coving. Alright. End turn. The question is, I have to +1 there. That's kind of unfortunate. If he plays another creature, I think he might get greedy here with the Skargan, because he doesn't have enough here to with lethal on the board. Alright, now does he swing in? So now he swings in, Planar Cleansing. Ooh, that's rough, fam. That is rough. Okay, bye. Oh! man. Hey, why didn't it let me scry? I didn't say skip turn. How freaking rude. Look at this though. 5. Is 5 good, guys? Yeah, 5's good. D4. Cancel. 6 is better though. 6 is better though. Whee! Cool. We don't really have any good plays here, do we? Might as well, I guess. I sideboarded him in after all. I thought he was going to be of some use, but I don't know if I'm really feeling him, honestly. But the opponent felt it.